Hello there, this is DBT and these are the rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt Legends Unite. And today, the new season just started, the Nitro Summer Fest season. And with it, as usual, comes a bunch of things like the Unite Pass, the daily events, and more importantly, the special event for the car that you see on the screen right now, the Nissan Z GT4. And in this video, I'm gonna do a full breakdown of this special event so that you know what are the requirements and maybe if you're gonna be able to unlock this car. But before I jump into it, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel, because doing these things tells YouTube that this is worth recommending to more people, and in that way I can continue making this content for you. So once again, like and subscribe for some more Alu right here. Now, I'm gonna cover real quick the Unite Pass and some of the daily events, but I'm gonna put timestamps in case you wanna jump into a particular topic. But let's begin, like I said, with the Unite Pass. Now, we know the Unite Pass is the premium one, where if you wanna get these rewards on the top over here, you actually need to have purchased this pass. Now, as I always say, I'm not trying to convince anybody to spend money in the game, I just want to see what type of cars are featured over here. Because obviously we have the regular Unite Pass car, which is the Toyota GR Supra racing concept, but from there onwards we have the McLaren P1, that's a common car. We got some blueprints and an epic for the Formula E Gen 3. But if you haven't unlocked this car, man, RIP. I believe there's going to be a Grand Prix for it this time around, but yeah. Then we also have some blueprints for the Nissan Z GT4. Moving on, the Huayra BC, which is a common car. Then we got the Rimac Nevera, the regular one, not the Time Attack version. Interestingly enough, we have some blueprints for the Hennessy Venom, as well as one epic. And that's basically it. From there, it's kind of the normal stuff. So that is as far as the Unite Pass. Of course, my interest on the Unite Pass is mostly the fuel, but hey, it's also good to see what else it offers. Now, for the daily events, as again, it's the normal stuff, right? We're gonna have the Legend Pass showcase, in which you get to try the Unite Pass car at gold, and well, you can get some rewards from it. So nothing much to talk about in that regard. Then we also have, of course, the Nitro Summer Fest season showcase, where depending on which cars you own featured in the season, you can get a bunch of tokens from them. And finally, the other event is gonna be the Overclock showcase, where, well, if you want to test the cars, overclock, again, the featured cars of the season, here's where you can. Now, this isn't every single car. For example, the Nissan Z GT4 is not even here. But, of course, you can also get from here a bunch of overclock chips because, hey, they're always useful. And they're going to be useful for the special event, let me tell you that. Now, other than that, we also have two car hunts. First, I'll begin with the Tomato P900 car hunt. Now, this one was announced in the patch notes, so we know what this is about. I will make a video on this car probably within this week, well, depending on if I have time. But the one that I really wanted to talk about is this one that was not quite announced. It wasn't featured or it wasn't mentioned in the patch notes, and that is the car hunt for the Huracan STO. However, don't get your don't get your hopes up, because this is a Unite Pass exclusive hunt. It's what is called a Legend Hunt. Should it be called a Unite Hunt or whatever? You need to own the Unite Pass in order to have access to this hunt. So, yep, there it is. So, if this, for some reason, seems like a good thing to you, like you want to do this hunt, well, you do need to buy that pass. So anyway, that's pretty much it when it comes to the daily events. Now, let's talk about the special events. Now, over here, I'm going to address it real quick. The Pininfarina Theorema, whatever, however you pronounce this. People tend to ask me, DBT, why don't I have this event? It says right here, it's an exclusive content creator test. Because I'm a content creator for the game, I do have access to this test. But this is not available for anybody else other than content creators, so that's why you don't have it. As I've said before, there's nothing to gain in this other than 100 credits. So yeah, it's just to test cars, but that's about it. Now, for real, let's focus on the Nissan Z GT4 special event, and whoa, boy. Now again, because of the patch notes, we knew what were the cars that were the support cars for this event, but still, let's just have a quick look. We're gonna have the ATS Automobili Corsa RR Turbo, the Acura NSX GT3 Evo, the Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR, yeah. We have also the Maserati MC12, the Tomato P900, which has a car hunt going on right now, as I just mentioned, and finally, the Ferrari 296 GTB. Those are gonna be the featured cars. And well, you know, I could go stage by stage and show you, oh, this is what you can get and whatnot, but you know how DBT is, and when DBT, myself, I don't know why I'm talking in third person. When I do reviews of this type of events, you know what I like to do, and that is spreadsheets. Can't help it. It is what it is. All right, so basically I put down all of the information on this special event into this spreadsheet in order to have a bird's eye view of the entire event. Now, I'm gonna explain real quick over here how this works, though if you've seen this type of videos that I do, you know how this works, but still, for anybody that is new over here. We have over here in the first column the stage that we're going to be talking about, then how many conditions are required in order to unlock the stage. Obviously, the first stage is always unlocked, but then after that, for example, for stage 2, you need to have 10 conditions in order to unlock it. We have the car that is required or featured in that particular stage. Then we got how many stars is it required at. This is standing for gold free try. I still haven't figured out how to write this in a more obvious way, but still. How many conditions you can get in this particular row. You'll see why it's not the entire stage, but still. How many conditions you can get from this. And here are the rewards. Tokens, credits, if there's gonna be blueprints for the GT4, epics for that same car or other stuff. So yeah, that's basically it, right? However, if you notice over here, it's separated by stars because, for example, this car, if you have it at 1 star, you're only going to be able to do 15 conditions over here, and from there you should be able to get these rewards. If you have it at 2 stars, you can get an additional 11 conditions that will provide you these other rewards, so on and so forth, right? I think it's pretty clear. Now, the only thing is that I don't believe that these are free tries other than the Nissan GT4. I could be wrong, so keep that in mind. It might be a free try for the 1 star of each one of these cars, but for me, when I'm checking it, it doesn't quite show as a free try, so I don't really know, but that could be it. Other than that, rest assured that the additional stars are not gonna be free tries, so there is that. Now, let's just go over the rewards real quick. Again, for the Nissan GT4, you can get some tokens, some credits, and over here where it says miscellaneous, it stands for those packs that can contain some import parts, not epic import parts, obviously, regular import parts or some blueprints for common cars and whatnot. Nothing worth mentioning. That's why they're just put over here as miscellaneous. Hey, who cares? For example, over here on the Corsa RR Turbo, you're gonna be able to get 125,000 credits. Hold on. There we go. I added a little bit of format there so that it reads as 125,000. This is, by the way, the American way, I believe. I think in Europe, instead of comma, as a separator, they use a point. Oh my God, listen to this song. Oh, it's beautiful. I can deal with this song. Hold on. I had to change the song because that one that I was just there a couple seconds ago, it's a song that I love, and I'm going to get distracted. I'm going to want to sing it, so no, I got to focus on this thing. But all right, you can get some credits and whatnot, right? So the Corsa RR Turbo, we have some credits. Now, for all of these stages, by the way, for the 1 star requirements, there's a caveat to this particular condition to get the credits, and that is that you need to use the car overclocked. So for each one of these 1 star conditions, you need the car overclocked. So keep that in mind in your calculations as to whether or not you're gonna be able to overclock the car to complete this condition for all of the cars. But still, continuing on, we got for 2 stars, you can get a bit of tokens and 1 blueprint over here for the GT4 and some blueprints for the Corsa RR Turbo, 5 to be precise. At 3 stars, you can get some credits, which should be, it's not 12,000, it actually should be 120,000. There we go. 2 blueprints for this thing, so on and so forth, right? At 4 stars, you can get, again, some more tokens, some blueprints for the main car, and an epic for the RR Turbo. And if you don't have the key for the car, but you do have it at 4 stars, meaning at max stars, you can get the key over here. Now, for the Acura NSX GT3, it was going to be a very, very similar situation. Again, you can actually see the whole thing. That's why I set it up in this way so that you can analyze it yourself. Importantly, over here, you can also get the key for the NSX GT3 Evo if you don't own it, but you do have it at 5 stars. Now, let's remember, that's a 5-star car. And then from there on, like I said, I think it's pretty self-explanatory how this whole thing is set up. If you have this car at this many stars, you can get this. If you have it at this many stars, you can get all of this stuff, so on and so forth, right? Here's another free try, by the way, for the Nissan GT4, where you can get some tokens and some credits. That's about it. And from there, the part that I find a little bit curious, isn't the Maserati MC12 also a key car? Over here, you cannot get the key. Unlike the keys over here, you cannot get the one for the Maserati. I don't believe that the Tomato needs a key, but fortunately for the Ferrari 296 GTB, you can get the key over here, again, if you have the car at max stars. And finally, the last stage Okay, it was missing a border around here. I just put it. It's fine. I'm editing in real time. But yeah, for the Nissan Z GT4, now this is the one that I can guarantee you is not going to be a free try at 1 star. But this one you do actually need to have unlocked the car and whatnot. However, there's something very peculiar about the situation of unlocking this car, where it doesn't need a lot of blueprints. This is not a key car, and it only needs 20 blueprints in order to unlock. Now, if you see over here, we have the total sum of these resources, right? You can get a total of 2,485 tokens, this many credits, and you can in total get 35 blueprints for this car. So that means that you should be able to unlock it. Obviously, this does require for you to have all of these cars a decent amount of stars, but still, the possibility is there. If you've been playing this game for long enough, been doing the hunts and all of that stuff, there's a decent chance that you already have these cars. I think from this, the rarest one would be the Ferrari 296 GTB, because this has been exclusive. It hasn't had like a car hunt or everything else. But the Tomato, the MC12, the CLK, NSX, and Corsa RR Turbo, all of these have had car hunts. So if you, like I said, if you've been playing for long enough, you probably have these cars, and obviously if you're committed to doing the car hunts, so you should be able to get a decent bunch. Now, once again, 35 blueprints in total. You only need 20 to unlock this car. I don't know how many blueprints you need to take it to the 2nd star because, well, I'm not there. But hey, that's basically it. Now, it's time to show you real quick how this thing works in case you want to use this as a calculator yourself to see how much progress you can do. Over here, you will notice that I left this space where it says enter your conditions. So, for example, the Nissan Z being a free try, you can do all of the conditions because, well, it's a free try. Nothing to worry about, right? So let's say that we do 20 conditions over here. Now, instantly, you will see that this thing changed color, and so did this. Now, this is because with 20 conditions, here's the grand total of conditions that you've done. They're going to be adding up as you add more over here. This is already more than the conditions required in order to unlock this stage, so that's why it's marked green, because it is now unlocked. Same thing for this one that needed 20 conditions, it's unlocked. Now, over here on this side, it's going to be marking in green because these are rewards that you can get. So, for example, over here, you did your 20 conditions, you can get your 75 tokens plus 125, and that starts adding up over here. So from there on, once you need to continue filling it up in this way. Now, there's a bit of a thing over here that, let's say that for some reason you cannot get these conditions done, not all of them. For some reason, you can only do 7 of them. This is still gonna count everything as if you had done all of them. So this is just assuming that you were able to complete all of the conditions of this particular row. But I believe that the case where you can do less than this is gonna be not very likely, but hey. So yeah, this is how you continue filling it up. Let's say that you have your Corsa RR Turbo at 3 stars. You can fill up the 15 over here, 11 and 6. And you can see how it continues unlocking more stages, and it continues adding all of the stuff that you can get over here. So for example, 3 blueprints for the GT4, all of these credits and all of these tokens. Let's say that I don't have the Acura NSX GT3 Evo at all, but I do have the CLK GTR at max stars. So I'm gonna go 15, 10, 6, 4, 6, because I can complete all of that. This continues adding up, and on this side, it continues unlocking the additional stages. A free try over here, and let's say I have this one at 3 stars, which I actually do in my Switch account, I believe. Well, I think this is pretty self-explanatory, right? That is how you're gonna be able to fill this up in order to calculate your progress. Now, if you enter into this, I'm gonna leave the link to this spreadsheet on the description and also in the pinned comment if you wanna use it. If you enter here, all you have to do, and it's already filled up, all you gotta do is delete all of this stuff on the white cells. All of this stuff, delete it, and it resets it, and you can start filling it up again. Now, let me fill it up to see just how much progress DBT can make. So this is the actual DBT progress of my global account. So I'm gonna be able to do 20 of this. Honestly, I don't know that I wanna spend my overclock chips on this thing, but I don't know. I may do it because at least these cars don't need a ton of overclock chips in order to do it. So let's fill it up because I do have all of these cars like this. This one I also have max stars, this one as well. So yeah, basically. Now, I'm not going to be able to straight up max out this event. It looks like I will, but no. MC12 I do have at max stars as well. Oh, my bad. 7, 6, 4. The Tomato also at max stars. So here's the real problem, my Ferrari 296 GTB. Because this thing, first, I don't actually own it, but oh, this one it is a free try. Okay, fantastic. Well, I guess if it's a key car, okay, fair enough. I suppose key cars do need to be free tries. Interesting. All right, I do only have it at 2 stars, so I would only be able to do 15 here and 10 here, and that's about it. But with this, I acquired a total of 29 blueprints for the Z4. which means I unlocked it, and I would be able to do this 115. And that's it. That's basically the progress that I would be able to do in this event, which is not too terrible, but hey. So that is kind of how you use this calculator. Let me just get rid of all of this information, and let me show you also the totals. Oh, I also forgot to show you the rewards, the milestone rewards over here. You know how, depending on how many conditions you do, you can get an additional reward. This is what you get, right? Some blueprints, miscellaneous rewards, more blueprints, credits, VIP points, which are kind of useful, more blueprints, tokens, and a couple of epics, as well as a decal if you 100% this event. And for the grand totals of the rewards, considering the milestone rewards plus all of this is what you get. A total of 3,145 tokens, about 4.1 million credits, 45 blueprints of the GT4 if you complete the entire event, and 4 epics of that same car if you, again, complete the entire event, which should be enough, at least in the epics, to have gold the car. So that is it when it comes to this event. Now, one last thing that I wanted to mention about this event is the packs available for it. You know, it's a bunch of cars, so they're gonna need support, or rather, there's a bunch of support cars, so they're gonna have packs in order to get blueprints for those support cars. However, there's a bit of a peculiar situation where there's only the pack number 2, the multi-card pack 2, and there's no multi-pack 1. Maybe that is because I already have those cars maxed out, so that's probably why. Because, yeah, never mind, now that I think about it, that makes total sense. Because the only car that I'm missing is the 296 GTB. So again, because this new system that they added in the last update, or was it the one before, where now cars that you already have maxed out are gonna be omitted from the packs, at least from the featured ones. That means that, for example, for me, this is a fantastic opportunity if I wanted to start up my 296 GTB, because I can get these packs for 750 tokens, and the drop rate is going to be of 20% plus the guaranteed drop that obviously is going to be exclusively for the 296 GTB, given that I have this other car. So yeah, my bad about the packs number 1. They do probably exist. I just don't see it because I already own these cars. But yeah, that's basically it when it comes to this special event. Like I said, it is a very interesting one because the fact that this car only needs 20 blueprints in order to unlock, it's not a key car. That means that a lot of people are going to be able to get this car, so long again as you have the needed cars for this event. But it's not exceedingly difficult because, like I said, all of the cars except the 296 GTB have been cars featured in car hunts and whatnot, so the opportunity has been there. As I always say every time that I make videos on the car hunts, I always say it. It's like, this car may not be particularly useful for you, but you don't know when Gameloft is gonna randomly decide that it's gonna be a car featured in a special event, and here is the case. Now, one last note about this that I think is kind of fun is that they went specifically for racing cars, except for the Ferrari. We have, well, sort of, depends how you want to look at it. The Corsa are turbo, full-on race car. The Acura NSX GT3 Evo, full-on race car. The Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR, it was a race car. This is the Strassen version, the street version of the car, but there was a race version of it, named the exact same thing, except for the Strassen version. We got the Maserati MC12 race car, the Tomato P900, also race car. And the 296 GTB per se, at least over here, is not properly a race car, but I suppose similar to the Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR, this is a car that actually competes in the GT3 series of racing. So obviously there's a GT3 version of this car with a big wing and whatnot in real life. So I guess this kind of counts. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny that they went for race cars. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. If you found it useful, entertaining, or anything like that, again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. The link to the spreadsheet is again in the description and in the pinned comment. Well, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.